William Bill Harrison, the 48-year-old mayor of Riverside Heights, Pennsylvania, represented everything the small industrial city of 23,000 residents wanted in their elected leader. A third-generation resident whose grandfather had worked in the steel mills that once drove the local economy, Harrison had built a successful insurance agency before transitioning into politics in 2018, when he was first elected to city council. Harrison's political rise culminated in his election as mayor in 2022, running on a platform of economic development, infrastructure improvement, and bringing new businesses to replace the manufacturing jobs that had disappeared over the previous 2 decades. His campaign emphasized his deep local roots, his understanding of working-class values, and his commitment to rebuilding Riverside Heights into a thriving community. Mayor Harrison lived in a restored Victorian house on Elm Street with his wife of 22 years, Patricia Harrison, and their 2 teenage children, 17-year-old Michael and 15-year-old Sarah. Patricia worked as a high school guidance counselor and was active in local charitable organizations, including the United Way and the Historical Preservation Society that had helped restore several downtown buildings. The Harrison family was considered a model of civic engagement and community leadership. Bill regularly attended local sporting events, church services at First Presbyterian, and neighborhood association meetings. Patricia organized annual fundraisers for the public library and coached youth softball during summers. Their children were honor roll students who participated in various school activities and volunteer programs. However, beneath this carefully maintained public image, Mayor Harrison had been engaged in an extramarital affair since March 2024 with Amanda Pierce, a 31-year-old marketing consultant who had moved to Riverside Heights the previous year to work on the city's economic development initiatives. Amanda operated Pierce Marketing Solutions from a converted downtown storefront, focusing on helping small businesses develop online presence and promotional strategies. Her arrival in Riverside Heights had been welcomed by city officials as part of their broader effort to attract young professionals and revitalize the business district. Amanda's background included a marketing degree from Penn State University and previous experience working for advertising agencies in Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. She had relocated to Riverside Heights, seeking a lower cost of living and the opportunity to build her own consulting practice in a smaller market, where she could establish personal relationships with clients. Her professional work brought her into regular contact with Mayor Harrison's office as the city coordinated various business development programs and promotional campaigns. Their initial interactions were strictly professional, focusing on marketing strategies for tourism promotion and small business recruitment efforts. The relationship evolved beyond professional boundaries during late winter 2024, when Harrison and Amanda began meeting privately to discuss city marketing initiatives. These meetings, initially held at City Hall or local restaurants, gradually shifted to more intimate settings as their personal attraction developed. By April 2024, Harrison and Amanda were meeting regularly at her downtown apartment, with Harrison using various work-related excuses to explain his absences from City Hall and his delayed returns home. Amanda's apartment, located above a vacant retail space on Main Street, provided privacy for their relationship, while remaining accessible to Harrison during his normal business hours. Digital evidence later recovered by investigators showed extensive communication between Harrison and Amanda, including over 1,800 text messages exchanged between March and August 2024. These communications revealed the emotional intensity of their relationship and Harrison's repeated promises that he would eventually leave his wife to be with Amanda permanently. However, the messages also documented growing tension as Amanda became increasingly frustrated with Harrison's reluctance to follow through on his promises about ending his marriage. She expressed concerns that their relationship was damaging her professional reputation and limiting her ability to establish credible business relationships within the small community. Before we dive deeper, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. The affair created significant complications for both participants as the 2024 election season approached. Harrison was running for re-election as mayor, facing challenges from 2 opponents who were actively seeking evidence of corruption or misconduct that could damage his campaign. Any revelation of an extramarital affair would likely destroy his political career and family life simultaneously. Amanda faced her own pressures as several of her business clients were supporters of Harrison's political opponents. If her relationship with the mayor became public knowledge, she risked losing contracts and potentially being forced to relocate her business due to community backlash and political retaliation. The situation became more complex when Amanda discovered in late July 2024 that she was pregnant. Medical records later reviewed by investigators confirmed that Amanda had received positive pregnancy test results on July 28th and had scheduled an appointment with an obstetrician for early August. Amanda's pregnancy created an immediate crisis for both her and Harrison. Her condition would eventually become visible, making it impossible to conceal indefinitely, while the timing coincided with the most intensive period of Harrison's re-election campaign when public scrutiny was at its highest level. Phone records show that Amanda contacted Harrison immediately after receiving confirmation of her pregnancy, leading to several lengthy conversations about their options and the potential consequences for both of their futures. Harrison's initial response was reportedly panic about the impact on his political career and family relationships. Amanda initially hoped that her pregnancy might prompt Harrison to finally leave his wife and formalize their relationship through marriage. However, Harrison made clear that public acknowledgement of their affair and his paternity would end his political career and create a scandal that would devastate his existing family. The couple discussed various options, including abortion, relocation to another state where Amanda could raise the child without local knowledge of Harrison's involvement, or adoption arrangements that would conceal the circumstances of the pregnancy from public view. However, Amanda eventually decided that she wanted to keep the child and expected Harrison to provide financial support and acknowledgement of his parental responsibilities, even if their relationship could not be made public immediately. This decision created the fundamental conflict that would ultimately lead to tragic consequences. Harrison viewed Amanda's pregnancy and her expectations about his involvement as threats to everything he had worked to achieve in his political and personal life. His research into paternity laws and child support obligations revealed that Amanda would have legal authority to compel his acknowledgement and financial support, regardless of his preferences. Additionally, Harrison became increasingly concerned that Amanda's pregnancy and their relationship would eventually become public knowledge through medical records, legal proceedings, or simple observation by community members who knew both of them professionally. By mid-August 2024, Harrison had begun researching methods of eliminating the threats posed by Amanda's pregnancy and her potential demands for public acknowledgement of their relationship. Digital forensics later revealed internet searches on his personal devices for information about early pregnancy termination, adoption laws, and methods of discrediting individuals who might make claims about public officials. Harrison's search history also included queries about accidental deaths, suicide statistics among young women, and legal procedures for handling suspicious deaths involving public figures. These searches demonstrated systematic planning and consideration of Amanda's elimination as a solution to his personal and political problems. The murder occurred on August 24th, 2024, during what Amanda believed was a routine meeting with Harrison to discuss their relationship and future plans. She had requested the meeting to finalize decisions about her pregnancy and to establish expectations about Harrison's support and involvement. Harrison arrived at Amanda's apartment at approximately 7:30 p.m., using his usual excuse to Patricia that he was attending a city council planning session that would run late into the evening. Amanda had prepared dinner and apparently expected their conversation to focus on practical arrangements for co-parenting and managing their relationship discreetly during the remainder of Harrison's campaign. However, Harrison had brought with him a .38 caliber revolver that he kept in his home office for personal protection. According to evidence later presented at trial, Harrison shot Amanda twice in the chest during their conversation, causing fatal injuries that resulted in rapid blood loss and death. The attack appeared to be sudden and without warning, as Amanda showed no defensive wounds or signs that she had attempted to flee or protect herself. The close-range nature of the gunshots suggested that Harrison had fired while sitting across from Amanda at her dining table, where investigators later found evidence of the interrupted meal. Following the shooting, Harrison attempted to stage Amanda's apartment to suggest that she had been killed during a burglary or random break-in. He ransacked several rooms, broke a rear window to simulate forced entry, and removed Amanda's laptop computer and jewelry to create the appearance that robbery had been the motive. However, Harrison's staging efforts were ultimately unsuccessful due to several critical errors that would later expose his involvement. He failed to consider that gunshot residue would remain on his hands and clothing, providing forensic evidence linking him directly to the shooting regardless of the staged scene. Additionally, Harrison's cell phone data placed him in the vicinity of Amanda's apartment during the estimated time of death, contradicting his claimed alibi about attending a city council meeting. Security cameras from nearby businesses also captured images of Harrison's distinctive vehicle parked near Amanda's building during the relevant time period. Amanda Pierce's body was discovered on August 25, 2024, when her business partner, Jennifer Walsh, arrived at the apartment to check on Amanda after she failed to appear for a scheduled client meeting. Walsh found the apartment door unlocked and called police immediately upon discovering Amanda's body and the apparent signs of burglary. The initial police response treated the scene as a robbery homicide, with investigators photographing evidence of forced entry and the missing electronics and jewelry. However, Detective Robert Chen of the Riverside Heights Police Department noted several inconsistencies that suggested the break-in might have been staged after Amanda's death. The investigation expanded when Detective Chen learned about Amanda's business relationship with Mayor Harrison's office and discovered the extensive communications history between Amanda and the mayor. The volume and intimate nature of their text messages immediately established Harrison as a person of interest in the homicide investigation. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more shocking true crime stories. Let us know in the comments what you think was Harrison's biggest mistake in trying to cover up Amanda's murder. Harrison's initial response to police inquiries was to acknowledge his professional relationship with Amanda while denying any personal involvement beyond city business matters. He claimed that their communications were related to marketing projects and economic development initiatives that required detailed coordination between his office and her consulting services. However, forensic analysis of both Harrison's and Amanda's phones revealed the true nature of their relationship, including explicit messages, photographs, and detailed discussions about their personal future together. The digital evidence made it impossible for Harrison to maintain his claims about a purely professional relationship. Additional evidence emerged when investigators learned about Amanda's pregnancy from medical records obtained through search warrants. The pregnancy provided Harrison with clear motive for wanting to eliminate Amanda, as her condition threatened to expose their affair during his re-election campaign. Ballistics testing linked the bullets recovered from Amanda's body to Harrison's personal firearm, which was found in his home office during a search warrant execution. Gunshot residue detected on Harrison's hands and clothing provided additional forensic evidence of his direct involvement in the shooting. The arrest of Mayor Bill Harrison occurred on September 8, 2024, at his home in the presence of his wife and children. The charges included first-degree murder, evidence tampering, and conspiracy related to Amanda's death, and the attempted cover-up of their relationship. The arrest created shockwaves throughout Riverside Heights, where Harrison had been considered a respected leader and devoted family man. The revelation of his extramarital affair and involvement in Amanda's murder contradicted everything the community believed they knew about their mayor's character and values. Patricia Harrison issued a brief public statement expressing her devastation about her husband's actions and requesting privacy for herself and their children during the legal proceedings. She filed for divorce within days of Harrison's arrest and moved with Michael and Sarah to stay with relatives in a neighboring state. The case attracted significant media attention throughout Pennsylvania due to Harrison's position as an elected official and the dramatic contrast between his public persona and his criminal behavior. Political analysts noted that the scandal would likely influence future municipal elections and public trust in local government officials. Harrison initially pleaded not guilty to all charges and attempted to argue that Amanda's death had resulted from a domestic dispute that escalated to violence without premeditation. His defense strategy focused on portraying the shooting as a crime of passion rather than a calculated murder designed to protect his political career. However, the evidence of Harrison's internet research into methods of eliminating Amanda, combined with his systematic staging of the crime scene, contradicted claims about impulsive behavior. The prosecution successfully demonstrated that Harrison had planned Amanda's murder as a solution to the problems created by their relationship and her pregnancy. The trial revealed additional details about Harrison's double life, including financial records showing that he had been using city funds to pay for meals and hotel rooms during his meetings with Amanda. These revelations supported additional charges of corruption and misuse of public resources. Expert witnesses testified about the devastating impact of Harrison's actions on both his family and Amanda's relatives, who had been unaware of the affair and pregnancy until the murder investigation revealed these details. The testimony emphasized the far-reaching consequences of Harrison's selfish decisions and criminal behavior. The jury deliberated for 14 hours before returning guilty verdicts on all charges. Harrison was sentenced to life imprisonment without possibility of parole for the first-degree murder conviction, plus additional consecutive sentences for the corruption and evidence tampering charges. Amanda Pierce's funeral was attended by hundreds of community members who remembered her as a talented professional whose life was cut short by the selfish actions of a man she had trusted. Her family established a scholarship fund for women entrepreneurs in her memory. The city of Riverside Heights appointed an interim mayor and implemented new oversight procedures for city officials following Harrison's conviction. The scandal prompted calls for enhanced ethics training and monitoring of elected officials' activities and communications. Harrison is currently serving his sentence at the State Correctional Institution in Somerset, Pennsylvania. He has filed appeals challenging his conviction, though legal experts consider his chances of successful reversal to be minimal given the overwhelming evidence of his guilt. The case remains a cautionary tale about how personal misconduct can escalate to deadly violence when individuals prioritize their own interests over the welfare of others. It demonstrates the importance of ethical leadership and the devastating consequences that result when public officials abuse the trust placed in them by their communities. Michael and Sarah Harrison have continued their education in their new location and have reportedly adjusted well to their changed circumstances with the support of extended family members and professional counseling services. Patricia Harrison has returned to work as a guidance counselor and has become an advocate for families affected by domestic violence and political corruption.